India Mauritius sign 8 pacts as PM decide to elevate ties. India to build new Mauritius Parliament. Build, train 500 civil servants. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Mauritius Prime Minister Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam decided on Wednesday to elevate the status of India-Mauritius partnership to an enhanced strategic partnership. The Indian government announced new infrastructure projects, small in scale and meant for the local communities, worth 500 million Mauritius rupees, about 100 crore. It will also build the new parliament building in Mauritius. The two countries agreed to settle their mutual trade in local currency after the bilateral meeting in Port Louis. Prime Minister Modi said, "Today, Prime Minister Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam and I have decided to give India Mauritius partnership the status of enhanced strategic partnership. In the second phase of community development projects, new projects worth 500 million Mauritian rupees will be started. 500 civil servants from Mauritius will be trained in India in the next 5 years. We have decided that India will cooperate in building the new parliament building in Mauritius. This will be a gift to the Mauritius from the mother of democracy." He also outlined the vision of Global South Mahasagar or mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions. This, from an Indian viewpoint, is important given Chinese aggressive behavior and expanding strategic footprint in the region, especially in the island countries. Modi said a free, open, secure, and safe Indian Ocean is the common priority of India and Mauritius, and that he and Ramgoolam agreed that defense cooperation and maritime security are the important part of strategic partnership between two countries. We are committed to extend full cooperation in the security of Mauritius exclusive economic zone. The Prime Minister of India and myself had very constructive discussions on how to take our bilateral relationships to greater heights. He expressed gratitude that India will continue to assist Mauritius in modernizing its health sector. Our two countries will continue to reinforce trade relations through comprehensive economic cooperation and partnership agreement setups set up such innovative mechanisms that would further facilitate exchanges for our mutual benefit. Cooperation on white shipping, blue economy, and hydrography will be strengthened. We fully respect Mauritius' sovereignty in the context of Chagos. India has been supporting the island nations in its efforts to reach a mutually beneficial deal with the US over the Chagos Island in the Indian Ocean. Pakistan train seize ends, 21 hostages dead, all 33 attackers killed, says army. Pakistan security forces stormed a train by Wednesday that had killed hijack by separatist militias, killing all 33 attackers and ending a day-long standoff. Separatist Baloch militants on Tuesday blew up the railway track and hurled rockets at the Zafar Express when it was on its way to Peshawar in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province from Balochistan's capital of Quetta. The Baloch Liberation Army had claimed to have carried out the attack and warned that the hostages' lives would be at risk if the government did not negotiate. During the operation, terrorists remained in contact with the facilitators and masterminds in Afghanistan via satellite phones, he said, adding that it showed that their foreign nexus. The group had threatened to start executing hostages unless the authority met its 48-hour deadline for the release of Baloch prisoners, activists, and missing people it says were abducted by the military. The BLA also released a purported video of the hijack, which shows the train traveling through a barren pass when an explosion on the train sends up plumes of black smoke as the locomotive approaches. The video, posted on a messaging app Telegram by the group's spokesperson, then cuts to images of people being pulled off outside of tunnel. On Wednesday evening, before the army announcement, the BLA said it had killed 50 passengers. India needs to grow 8% for progress. Core sector must invest. India definitely needs to grow at 8% to progress, and this needs consumption and private capital expenditure, said Challa Srinivas Setty, Chairman State Bank of India. With a deposit base of 52.29 lakh crore, India definitely requires growth rate of 8% to progress, but this current growth rate is not really be worried about. We must realize that the slowdown which we are talking about could be a blip. A long-term story of India is intact. According to him, while private capital expenditure is happening in certain sectors, the core sectors such as steel and cement must also start to invest. They will all have to reach the capacity utilization of 75-76%. The Indian economy grew 6.2% during the quarter ended December 24 and is estimated to grow 6.5% for the whole year. The RBI projected a GDP growth rate of 6.7% in the next financial year 25-26. Sethi said the economic data indicates private consumption in the quarter has picked up. The private final consumption expenditure has reached 76%, which means that the consumption is coming back. There are certain sectors which are slightly slower than others. The auto sector witnessed very good growth in October November, but December onwards it has slowed down. But overall, private consumption seems to be moving in a positive direction. UP Maharashtra top list of those freed from cybercrime centers. ISM Dhanbad 4 IITs, 2 IIMs among 9 Indian institutes in QS Global Top 50. The Indian Institute of Mines, which is an IIT, has secured the highest ranking for an Indian institution in QS World University Rankings, standing at rank 20 globally in engineering, mineral and mining subject. 9 institutions. High Court suspension of Dalit PhD by TISS not outcome of discrimination. The Bombay High Court on Wednesday dismissed the plea by Dalit PhD student, challenging his suspension for repeated misconduct and anti-national activities. The court observed that the institute's action was not out of discrimination or against freedom of expression. We find that this is not a fifth case to interfere. There is no merit in the petition, and the same is dismissed. A Telugu model opens a window for India AI dream. One dialect, one fable, one at a time. A Telugu model opens window for India AI dream. How would you describe a cloud when it's about to rain? For close to a year now, an army of volunteers in Telangana have been getting people to talk, and so they talk family stories, humdrum of their daily lives, space weather fables, legends. Sometimes they read from newspaper reports, books, all of which is precious data, the kind that Swecha, a Hyderabad-based non-profit, hopes will someday add up to Telugu language model. As India attempts to build its own large language model, Swecha's experiences with documenting the language, in this case Telugu, offers a window into what an Indian model will need to factor in. Indian languages, rich in detail, are known to have numerous peculiarities, dialect chains within few kilometers, and there are variations depending on regions, communities, caste, etc. But what are the use cases of creating an LLM for Indian language? The first thing is that it opens lots of things for Indian users who do not even know how to write. If the models are voice integrated, will be able to communicate to anyone in other parts. IIT Delhi, JNU in the top 50 list of the subject-wise QS rankings. Economic offences book wing books Fitzy in a cheating case. Complaints from parents. The Delhi Police Economic Offences Wing on Wednesday registered a cheating case against Fitzy Coaching Institute chain that prepares students for competitive exam after receiving 190 complaints from parents to students who studied at its Preet Vihar Center. No objections received on Nicobar infrastructure project, says Minister sent in 2022 Tribal Council Chief. Union Minister Wal Oram speaks in Rajya Sabha. The government has not received any information about objections. The government has not received any information about objections to the Great Nicobar infrastructure project, either raised by the Tribal Council of Great Nicobar Islands or documented in a video report by anthropologist Vishwijit Pandya. Speaking during question hour, Oram said the project involving construction of a transshipment port, an airport, gas power plant and a tourism infrastructure, transshipment port, an airport, gas power plant and a tourism infrastructure was in national interest and will not have any environmental impact nor displace any tribals. When the tsunami happened in 2004, because the area was low lying, they had problems and moved out. Then they had objections. We have not received any such information. Nobody will get displaced. Only 7,000 square kilometer of tribal reserve land will be used. Rest is forest land. There are no objections as he is referring to, and the Gram Sabha has also agreed to and passed it. 0 hour in Lok Sabha, Dubey in 1973 delimitation, only Congress states got more seats. Lok Sabha clears bill to amend law governing development of oil fields. The Lok Sabha on Wednesday passed Oil Fields Regulation and Development Amendment Bill. Oil Fields Regulation and Development Amendment Bill. Oil Fields which delinks petroleum from mining operations, Oil Fields Regulation and Development Amendment Bill 2024, which delinks petroleum from mining operations, expands the definition of mineral oils to include shale oil among others, to seek grant of oil company leases for stable terms. Opposition government's power over privatization in railways. The opposition on Wednesday hit hit out at the government over privatization in railways, which they said has led to accidents and deaths, which the BJP countered that before 2014 railway budget was an instrument of political calculations with lofty promises. In the past three or 4 years, we have lost valuable lives of 400 passengers due to train accidents compared to zero deaths between 2018 and 2021. Why is this happening? Citing in Karnataka's district, a roti revival builds brands and business for women. Nirmala works on the machine in a small room that is speedily producing hundreds of rotis. Decision on release of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin funds to Bengal pending with competent authority Ministry of Rural Development has told the parliamentary panel that decision to release 7,000 crore to West Bengal and the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin during the current financial year is pending with the competent authority. Digital arrest cybercrimes tripled during last 4 years. Anticipated cost of rail link to Kargil 1.31 lakh crore. Bilaspur Manali Leh railway line that will provide connectivity to Kargil 1,31,000 crore. Does Congress have priorities in order? Party focuses on Manishankar instead of Rahul. MHA team meets Miti and Kuki groups in Manipur. A team from the Ministry of Home Affairs led by its Northeast advisor A.K. Mishra met both Kukizo and Miti groups in Manipur over the course of last 2 days amid tensions over free movement of vehicles on state highways. There has been indefinite shutdown in Kukizo areas in Manipur since Saturday after one youth died and many were injured after protesters clashed with security forces in Kangpokpi while trying to prevent the movement of a bus from the Miti Majority Valley through the Kukizo Majority District. The groups have opposed the move until their political demand for separate administration is addressed. The MHE team met Kukizo groups including Committee on Tribal Unity and Kukizo Council in Churachandpur Tuesday, but the impasse over free movement and blockade of highways in Kukizo areas continued even after it. UP orders probe after Uttarakhand police enters Bareilly for drug raid. Give 100 rupees per quintal to farmers to curb stubble burning. House panel to government. 100 per quintal to curb stubble burning. 100 per quintal. Sambal mentioned in 5,000-year-old scriptures predates Islam. Adityanath. On Holy Eve, mass covered on sensitive areas fortified in UP. High Court tells ASI to complete whitewashing at Sambal Mosque within a week. Scientific evaluation encourages those doing good work in government. But since the district is being honored by a third-party organization like Lok Satta for their work done by the government system, a sense of competition emerges in the district. Retail inflation drops to a 7-month low in February. Food inflation eases most since May 2023. Retail credit growth continues to moderate across most groups. Trump 2.0 first sweeping tariffs goes live could increase dumping pressure on India. Market sell-off wipes 2.33 lakh crore from MF mutual fund assets. US weapons flow to Ukraine again. Kremlin mules US-backed truce deal. Putin, who has been opposing a temporary truce largely due to Russia's advantages on the battlefield, has now been pressured to reconsider. Analysts say the Kremlin could be tempted to accept a truce that would tactfully unfavorable but strategically favorable to show that it is a peacemaker. Beijing to host Russia-Iran for talks on Tehran's nuclear program. Diorte in ICC custody to face murder charges during over the drug war. So that's all in this one. See you in the next.